John 21:15, and it reads, "When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, 'Simon, whose father's name was the word John or Jonah.'" So Jesus knew about John, and it is not John the Baptist. Conversation here was, "Do you love me more than this?" I'm assuming Peter did not understand probably the weight of the matter. Of course, he had already matured. He had been with Jesus long enough. He had denied him. He had, fallen and all those things. But he says, "Do you love me more than this?" So love must be compared to something. You can't love in a vacuum. Love is comparable. So you see God saying, "For God so loved the world that he gave." You see that comparison? That his love is compared to what he's giving. Can't love in a vacuum. So Peter answered and says, "Lord, yes, Lord." He said, "You know." Same context of where it was said, "Can these dry bones live?" And then he says, "Only you know." So Peter told him, "You know that I love you." So his love for Jesus, Peter is telling Jesus, "You check my heart and try my thoughts." And then Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." The comparison of your love for Jesus will be predominantly determinant on the treatment of the sheep. You cannot say that you love Jesus and you do not feed the sheep. So Jesus says that I'm going to know that you love me by feeding my sheep. Don't you think that, are you listening? Don't you think that a God who knows what love is, he can compare it to feeding his sheep? Think about the gold. Think about the silver. Think about cattle on 1,000 hills. He compares the love that Peter have. He says, "This is how you will know. Feed my sheep." The original word there for feed is not mouth-based, but in the original context is write my laws in their heart. That's the word, feed my sheep. Reveal me to them. It was such a heavy matter, and I know you are standing, bear with me. It was such a heavy issue that it required 3 repetitions. When you are in school, there is a word we read in Swahili. I might not have, maybe you will let me know the English version. It's kusisitiza. Do you remember? What's kusisitiza? Yeah. So it is such an important thing that you can imagine an all-knowing God. Why not say once? You're all-knowing. Why would you insist on this matter? Because I hope you know Jesus is about to exit. So he's transferring ministry. You need to understand the difference. He's transferring the ministry. That Jesus was now the one feeding. He showed us with the 4,000. He showed us with the 5,000, with 2 fish and 5 loaves. Spiritually speaking, he showed us that he's the bread of life. And he's the one that has been feeding for all those, 3.5 years probably. And then of all the people, he brings on board Peter, and he tells Peter, "Just feed my sheep." So it was such a heavy matter to Jesus, and we cannot neglect the emphasis of that word. Again, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Do you love me?" He didn't say, do you want to be rich? In the exit ministry of Jesus, the foundation, the end of his ministry was rooted in love. Of course, you understand that the three foundations of heaven, there is faith, there is hope, and there is love. And then Jesus goes ahead and puts them in an exam room. He says, if you put faith in an exam, it will produce probably 60%. If you examine hope, it will produce 80%. But he goes ahead and he says the greatest. So he's comparing the three of them. And in his view, he says that the greatest of this is love. So we need to really check what is love, because he answered, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. Jesus said, again, take care. So there is feed, and then there is taking care. Do you remember guard your heart? Huh? For out of it flows the issues of. So the responsibility again was transferred. Not only that he should feed, he should again take care of the people. Whether you call it feeding, whatever, just however you look at it. And then the third time, I'm done now. He says the third time. Now, when you are reading the scripture, I want you to know that God is not a man. Why would Jesus emphasize? I mean, of all the things, because he took the space of faith, right? The three, hope and love. Notice the third time. So he should have first started with what? Faith. Peter, do you love me? Have faith in my sheep. Peter, do you love me? Hope the best. Do you understand? And then Peter, do you love me? Love. But he ignored the two elements and he stuck on the greatest of them. That the greatest among this is what? Love. He insisted again that Peter, if you're going to do ministry, my foundation, the reason for the healing, the reason for the taking care, the reason for the miracles, the crusades, if you miss the element called what? Love, it's all in vain. When God comes and sees we have built an auditorium, he doesn't look at what you see. He doesn't look at the ceiling. He doesn't look at the walls. God immediately goes to the what? The foundation. And any building that's not founded. Do you remember, even though I speak tongues of men and I speak tongues of angels and have no love, I am like a sounding gong. So love is the glue that holds heaven. God without love is wickedness. Our God is wicked if there is no love. So even when he chastens, there has to be love. Are you? Understand? Even when God strikes you, there is no hate in that strike. If God goes against love, even Sodom and Gomorrah going down, there is love. Are you understanding that?